Hi guys! So a few days ago I made a video on the Ferguson, Missouri issue, and since then a bunch of new facts have come out. So what I'm going to do is run you through these facts and then give my opinion based on everything that we know so far. So for starters, the gunshot wounds. According to the autopsy, there were only 6 gunshot wounds that they could find, 4 in the right arm and then 2 in the head. I had said in my last video that it had been rumored that there were 10 shots that had been fired, and that may be so, but only 6 shots were found to have hit the victim. Also, all of these shots were in the front of the victim or on the top of his head, so him being shot in the back, as has been rumored by a few people, is not true. Also, all of these gunshots were consistent with him having been standing and even running toward the officer with his head down, as there's a gunshot wound in the top of his head, and an entry wound, exit wound, and then re-entry wound, meaning that he did have his head down at some point. But again, consistent with him having been standing while his head was down, because they were not angled down. Kind of, if that makes any sense. I know what I'm saying. But, also, the officer, it has been reported that he has had some swelling. I posted a story yesterday about his left eye. Apparently he had an orbital fracture, and it's really, really difficult to get one of those. You have to be like the Hulk strong to inflict one of those. It takes a lot of pounds of pressure in order to fracture your eye socket. So what we're talking about here is, in my estimation, either Michael Brown was on something or he's a really strong boy. And either way, you don't really punch an officer ever. But okay, so the rumor is I guess he was in the car with the officer. The officer got out, he started running away, the cop got out, yelled freeze. I don't know what happened after that, but I guess the rumors are that he turned around, started running towards the officer, so the officer raised his gun and shot possibly 10 times, but only 6 of those bullets actually striking the victim, again with his head being down and charging at the officer. So what are my opinions on all this? I believe the officer is innocent. I really do. If all of the evidence that has been provided, which by the way corroborates at least a dozen eyewitness stories, is absolutely true, then the officer is 100% innocent and will not be, hopefully, jailed for this incident. If I were him, I'd obviously move out of Ferguson, because no matter if you're actually innocent, they're not going to like you there. They're not going to treat with respect, and you might have to fear for your life as long as you live there. So if I were him and I was proven innocent, I would just get out of there. Also, little opinion on the rioters and looters there. Apparently the KKK is there, the new Black Panthers, and a couple of other hate groups. This is not okay. It is not okay for them to be riling up the rioters, the people who are very angry already and who have been stealing and shooting at people. We have some gunshot victims there, throwing Molotov cocktails, throwing rocks, shooting off rockets. We get that you're angry. We understand that. But it is not okay to inflict bodily harm and harm to other people's property because of your anger. There are peaceful protesters, as I reported in my last video. People who are just, sitting there with signs. Their little hands up, don't shoot slogan. That's perfectly fine. They have a right to do that. You do not have a right to hurt yourself. You do not have a right to hurt other people. And you do not have a right to injure their property because you're angry, because you don't know the facts yet. There's been a beauty store looted. I'm assuming fast food restaurants, because I heard of McDonald's being looted. Shoe stores, clothing stores. Like I said in my last video, I don't think these people care about Michael Brown at all. Or if they do, they are going about it the absolute wrong way. They don't care about justice. They don't care about peace. They want an excuse to steal. They want an excuse to be able to throw alcohol bottles with fire and to shoot at the cops. That's why the cops are wearing riot gear down there. They're not doing it to look cool. They're doing it because they're being shot at by a bunch of shitheads because they decided that ooh, okay, we don't know all the facts yet, but let's go shoot cops. Because a cop shot a kid who wasn't actually a kid because he was 18. He could have enlisted to go into the army, but instead he was stealing cigarettes from the grocery store, and he was walking down the middle of the road and decided to assault an officer. So that's my opinion. If you guys have any more facts, if I left anything out, like I said, I'm going to just completely ad-lib this because every time I attempt to write a script, it gets screwed up because more facts come out. So this is just from what I remember. But if you have anything to say, leave it in the comments. As always, links are going to be in the comments or in the description box below. Message me if you have anything you'd like to see a video made on. And have an amazing day, and God bless.